in the party. We got Brooks and Arthur here today for y'all, so hope you enjoy. Welcome, everybody. We have our original LCT thoughts on air with us. Two men for an Ask a Man focused podcast. We have Brooks, Fifa, and Arthur Winfield. Everyone say hi. They're so great. And we're here to ask them a bunch of questions about friendship between themselves, friendship from dudes in general, dating from a guy's perspective, and just random dude things that we don't know. So we're excited to get into it, but we want to jump off first with, how did you meet me and Carrah?
I met both of y'all through a friend of all of ours now, Sarah, introduced me to Carrah in Charleston, and we kicked it at it was like a Christmas Eve.
Yeah.
It was like a Christmas Eve or something. We were drinking margaritas, but like the actual first time I met KT was at a trivia in Clemson, and you yelled at me. You yelled at me like I
didn't know this.
Like it was like you and I think maybe like Raymond and a couple other people at that table, and y'all were doing trivia at Triple T's. And then I was just like, oh, what up? Like, I've met you before, and you're like, hey. And then Katie's like, are you trying to join the team? And like you just started like coming at me like trivia wise, and I was like, bro, I'm literally just getting some fries and saying what up. And you were like, cool, keep it pushing. And I was just like, all right. And then when I met you, I was like, you're the girl from trivia, and you were like, what about it? That's when I met you.
I met y'all through Arthur.
I mean, I guess that's seriously.
So like what year?
Yeah.
Like 20?
It was probably like early 2016. I started coming to visit Arthur a bunch in Charleston. Y'all were having a party one weekend, so we had to go get your pong table, which was at your place off Joseph Street.
I was having a party
at your apartment. It was before you and Pat moved to the other place.
Oh, it was in my old place.
Did anyone show up?
Yeah,
I had no idea. Yeah, Brooks was there.
Okay, what's your favorite memory with me and Katie? You guys can have the same or different ones.
My favorite memory of Katie is you eating that macaroni before I moved to Atlanta, and it was just on the fork. And I didn't mean to crash out on you, but it was like, it looked like good macaroni, and that cheese was just dripping. And I was just like, you want to eat this macaroni? You made me so mad. You just kept like talking, and you were just twirling it around like spaghetti. And I was like, it's not spaghetti. So that's my favorite memory of KT. I have a lot of favorite memories of you. Probably just anytime at Uptown Social, would you just being like, play Amine? Listening, he's just like, play Amine, and they're just like, that, and they don't.
Yeah.
And you'd be like, it'd be like 3 songs in, and you'd be like, Arthur, go tell them to play Amine, and I'd be like, no, they're not gonna do that.
So his favorite memories with us are when we're annoying him. So keep it up.
Oh, and I love that time at Loose Change when we were all in Clemson. Either the spring game
that was really fun.
I think it was a spring game.
Someone was in the back.
We were all hanging out in the in the back.
Yeah, in the back.
Yeah.
That was a good one. I think that was a spring game.
Great pics came out of that photo sesh.
There's like a fucking quote from Brooks. From Loose Change, what's the value of a thought hyena to a thought hyena?
What's the ratio?
Or the ratio.
Yeah. There's a Snapchat of that. I'll look back in the archives.
Tell us how you guys met.
So we met my freshman year of college because my roommate knew Arthur's roommate from living in Raleigh together. Arthur walked into my dorm one day with these guys, and he had his like Chili Willy hat on, and I was like, oh yeah, that's a cool hat.
Mm-hmm.
And we kicked it a couple times freshman year and sophomore year. Like there were some crazy circumstances that ended up me living in the same house with them off campus.
Wait, why was it crazy circumstances?
Yeah.
Because my initial housing plans like fell through at the last minute at the start of sophomore year, and so it was going to be like Braden, but he ended up living at home, so I was scrambling. So I lived in on-campus housing sophomore year to start with. And these guys, it was in Thornhill, and they were all in this house off campus in Central, and they didn't like one of their roommates.
We liked him.
No. So they basically, but he was like always on campus and didn't have a car. So basically they kicked him out. Like I took this kid's room and he moved into my on-campus apartment, but like he kept paying for that place, and like my parents kept paying for my place.
You house swapped.
Yeah, we basically house swapped.
What are your favorite memories of each other? Don't edit them.
When the Uber, there was an Uber.
There's so many.
There was an Uber in Charleston where we were all like, we was outside a warehouse. Yeah, and I remember like the Uber driver was just being a dick for whatever reason, and like that was one of the funniest faces I've ever seen you make.
There's a big van. There's a van pulled up to pick everybody up.
I got the Uber XL, and it was like meant to hold 8 people, and it was probably like 7 or 6 of us. And I just remember like we all got in, and he was like talking to something, and you know you like pull a van door and it just like slide closed. It just slowly shut in front of him as he was like mid conversation, and then he just like looked and was like.
No, I was the only one. They slammed the door in my face and drove off. I was just standing there.
We didn't slam the door. The door closed on its own. It was an automatic door.
It was an automatic.
It was an automatic door, and I just remember asking the driver to like stop or open the door, and he was like, "No." And then like we drove by, and like you were just standing there, and I was like, "Dude, like you got to go pick him up." And the guy was just like, "No." Like he wouldn't stop. And
then I called and yelled at Arthur.
But we were just taking an Uber to like Mint.
Right around the corner.
Like it wasn't very
It wasn't
far.
even far. Like we should have walked honestly.
And then your story of like when Brooks made it to Mint. It's like.
Oh yeah. So then like when you finally did get it to Mint, you were like, "Dude, what the fuck?" And I was like, I was trying to make him stop, and you were like, "Oh, it's cool." Good. And I was like, "Yeah, my bad." Like I was like, I literally tried, and you're like, "Oh, I don't care."
I also like the time I reverse pranked you guys at Folly Beach.
Yeah.
That was a good one.
Pranks, good parties, like the Cinco de Mayo Sunday when we were all out all day.
At Mex One.
Yeah.
You also never leaving on Sundays and always, I'm going to stay. I'm going to leave.
Oh, we'll go to the next place.
You lost your phone in that Uber. Yeah, he lost his phone in the Uber, and it was just like, I was the only conduit between an Uber that dropped us off to your place on James Island, and like you getting your phone, and you're like, I can't leave without my phone. Has he called? And I don't think you left until like 5 or 6.
I think I probably stayed the night.
But yeah, it was good times, really good times. I enjoyed that. That was a question, right?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Mostly just anecdotes.
Yeah, parables, if you will.
Parables, life stories, morals that we all need to live by.
No, there are life lessons. I get every moment like this, I get strengthened. But yeah, those are my favorite memories.
Okay. Well, what do you value in each other? And I want you both to take turns.
As friends.
Okay, I value Brooks's. I feel like valor is not the good word, but it's like he take pride in a lot of the shit that he does. Like he does stuff with intention for real. Like he's not just gonna be like, "Oh, I'm here because I'm here." He's like, "I'm here because I want to be here."
Yeah.
Like you don't do shit like, you know what I'm saying? Like when you do shit, you like either do it at 1,000 or like not at all. Like if you're not feeling some shit, you be like, "I'm not pulling up." Like that's not what I'm on. And it's like, yeah, I respect that from you because I need to be better with that shit. Because I just be like outside. I go wherever like the wind take me sometimes, and I'm just like, yeah, I'm here, and then shit happen. But you be like, no, I'm here, and I'm gonna do it to like the best. Yeah. I don't know if valor is a good word, but yeah, that's how. Yeah, there you go.
I appreciate that Arthur always has his friends' backs, and he comes through when he says he's going to. Sometimes he may spread himself.
Sometimes he doesn't. Sometimes he does.
See, the thing is that he knows when it's like most. Like if it's like a do or die situation, like he's not going to let you down.
Yeah,
like,
I agree.
He's
I pull up when I need to pull up.
And all that stuff always comes from good intent. It's from trying to make too many people happy. Like he's always got like he puts everybody else ahead of himself, like his own well-being. Like Arthur will like go around all over like making himself crazy because he's just trying to like, you know, because everybody wants to see him and like
maneuver, if you will.
Yeah, you know, like he's just a good friend, and Arthur will also keep you in check. You know, like he keeps me grounded. Like if I'm tripping or overthinking something, or like my head's not in the right place, he's like, "Yo, like snap out of it." Like, you know, he'll like be the one to, you know, helping me with the vents and stuff. I'm like losing my mind.
Shout out all of them young kings out there. Sometimes you got to lock in.
How do you guys show appreciation for each other? Like, we know what you value, but like, how do you show it?
Just by pulling up.
Like, literally
straight up, like
pull up.
you guys pull up, like that's it. Like it just be like, hey, what you doing? And I'll be like, man, I don't got shit going on. I'll pull up. You know what I'm saying? Like,
So quality time, your love languages.
and like pulling up is kind of generalized, but it's like part of me moving to Atlanta. If like he could hit me up on a Thursday and be like, what you doing? And I'll be like, I have zero plans. And it'd be like, pull up to Atlanta. And I'll be like, I don't even ask what's happening. I'll be like, all right. And then you do the same thing with Charleston. I feel like you just be like, hey, you doing anything? Nothing's happening. And I'll be like, pull up. And you just be like, oh, all right. And then I'm like, cool.
You make it sound easy, but like not a lot of, I don't want to say not a lot of, but not all friends do that. Like you guys put effort into showing up and seeing each other and like helping each other.
But I mean, I think that's like part of it too, right? It's just like if we go out or something and it's like, if I'm broke, he broke, like I don't got no tab with you.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not like, and if I do, I'm like, damn, you got this last time, let me get it. You know, and you'd be like, oh, you got this last time, but I've never been like, Brooke, you owe me this. Like, you know what I'm saying? And you just be like, yeah, like, so it's just kind of fluid. So it just
because you guys trust each other.
Right, but
There's
it's
a lot
just,
of trust there.
but that's like where the appreciation comes in, where I'm like, when I don't have to worry about stuff like that, it just be like, that's why I'm gonna kick it with you.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you know, it's like when people be like, oh, tabs, oh, this. When you got like a ledger, then it's like, why would I want to add more things to this ledger? Like, it's like it ain't nothing. So it's like it's all good at the end of the day. That's all.
Brooks is like, you owe me a lot of money.
I'm in debt.
We're even. No, I would honestly, like, if there were a running tab, it'd be as close to
I say, yeah, it's probably pretty even. It's like I don't be keeping tabs. You don't keep tabs. Yeah, it's all good.
Mm-hmm. Arthur shows appreciation by helping me do my parties and events and such, because you know, you don't owe me anything. You don't owe me your time on a Saturday to come out and like be working, basically slaving away. But when you do work with me at the tiki parties, you work your butt off. And there's so many that I couldn't have done it without somebody.
But it's fun.
Yeah.
I don't mind. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. That's what I'm saying.
It's not just somebody either. It's like, you know enough to where like you could do it on your own. Like you're not just like someone who's there that I have to like tell you what to do every 5 seconds. Like you have the presence to like take ownership of it, and like, you know, it's like, I got this.
I feel like it's also like he takes initiative. Like he doesn't just show up and then it's like, okay, now what? Like he like shows up with intention and it's like, and it's also because he believes in you and like your business and he wants to help you.
Well, I hope so.
I do.
A lot of trust and respect between you guys, which is great to see.
Twist scamming.
You don't see, it's kind of uncommon to see it in such like an obvious and like open way. It's like insistent, yeah, or consistent, I guess. You see stories about how hard it is for men in general to hold on to like close friends, but y'all are very close and y'all have worked really hard at it.
That's news to me. Also, shout out to your plants. I see them plants back there. I like that. I didn't know you had a green thumb. Yeah, they thriving for real.
Nah, it's tough. We're like barely living, but we're figuring it out.
Oh, they look good.
Yeah, they do look good.
Thanks. You think it's hard to hold on to friendships?
I think it's like anything else, any other relationship where it takes effort.
Mm-hmm.
But different friendships require different degrees of like maintenance. Like you can have an old friend who you may not text them every day, but you know, you pick up every couple of weeks. Maybe you see each other once or every couple months. Some friends, you may see them more often. Like until I recently moved OTP, like we saw each other multiple times a week. Like the last couple months, like I'll maybe see you a couple times a month now. But it's like we're texting every day. We're sending like
memes and shit.
BS on Instagram every day.
Yeah. I mean, I agree with you. I wouldn't call, for me at least, like, especially my dude homies, it's like some of them got like kids and shit. Some of them are married, and it's like I might not hear from them for like 6 months. But then like they'll call me, and it's like when they do call me, it's to catch up, and I'm on the phone with them for like 2 hours, or maybe like 15 minutes. But it's like cool because I'm like, that's dope. I'm like, you got a busy ass life. I got a busy ass life. And I feel like as we get older, it kind of distinguishes. But, you know, I don't know. I just feel like, I don't know, it's just easy to maintain. For me, at least. Or like, I even got friends where they'll just be like, hey, J. Cole dropped a new album, peep it. And then I'm like, cool, what's your favorite song? And then like, we talking about J. Cole after not speaking for 3 years, right? And it's like, we always bonded over music, so it kind of brings it all back, you know what I mean? It's like, I don't know, I don't feel like it's that hard to maintain. At least
well, I could see where with time, like a lot of my friends have
the
families and kids, and like that's why we have designated Monopoly night, where it's like, okay, we're gonna get together and play Monopoly. You and me, I feel like we'll go out to eat a lot. You know, you and me are different.
We get that good dinner on the weekend.
We don't have kids.
Yeah.
We'll go get dinner. We'll have lots of mandates.
We could fuck up a check heavy though. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like we could get a lot of food under $100. Great. And dessert.
We just go Dutch.
Yeah. I feel like you guys are like not the average guy as far as like you guys are both very sociable and like very good friends. And I think it's kind of common for guys as they age because of maybe families, because of getting married, they slowly like rely on their partner more than their friends, or they like are afraid, they think they're gonna bother each other, like they don't want to reach out because they're like, oh, like I don't want to bug them, they like they're busy, they have a lot going on. Like,
I mean, yeah, I agree with you.
How like what advice would you give like guys to like get through that?
So I would say, like, don't be a curmudgeon. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like we all got parents, obviously, but I feel like at least what I see with like my parents sometimes is like, you know, they got this like, oh, like the world, and it just kind of like shortens into like, oh, like I don't want to try this, I don't want to do this. Like, here's where I want to travel, and then that's that. Like, don't ever be closed-minded to that shit, because like that's how you miss out on like, you know, if like my homie got married in California, right? And I was like, bet, let me go to California because like that's my homie. But then like sometimes as we get older, obviously obligations happen, but it's just like, I don't think you should like limit yourself to just the scope. And even like, if you're like, oh, now I'm in Seattle, like I don't want to go anywhere out east. And it's like, don't do that. Like just go out east, and it might suck, but like money's not a problem, go do it. And then it just, you get more from it than just kind of like I said, being a curmudgeon. I feel like with my dude friends, I just kind of give them grace to an extent, like where I'm like, I don't hold it against them. Like if I've been to like one of my friends' event 15 times, and then finally I have one and they can't come, I'm never like, well, damn, like you didn't come to my event. I'm just kind of like, whatever. Like you might have been going through some shit I don't know about.
What are the qualities you look for in a friend, and how has that changed from when you were in your 20s to now?
I think it's really like at this point, you know, we're grown, we're established. It's almost like not necessarily we full. Like we can be friends with anybody, but it's like, hey, you know, we've got friends, we got lives. It's like, I'm almost like maxed out in terms of like, anyone could be a friend. Yeah, I'm gonna be cool with anybody. Yeah, I've been friend maxing, friend farming, aura farming.
Aura farming. Yeah, if you got that good aura.
Like it's almost at this point, it's almost more of like an intangible type of thing, because like you mentioned earlier, like guys are for the most part just we'll be cool to anybody. We can stand there and like carry on a conversation and like act like best friends, but that doesn't mean like, you know, when you part ways, you're going to be texting each other or asking each other to hang out. So it's almost like something that just kind of in the course of your interaction or getting to know each other, like if it's like, oh wow, we have a lot in common, or like you're chill, or you know, we have the same friend group. You know, it's just more of like being respectful and having similarities, and like you can be on a completely different frequency as somebody. Like, you know, like maybe once you get a little older, you may not still be trying to go out like as crazy or as often, but your friends will understand that and be like, well, we can go do this, and then like you can go home and do your thing, and like I'm gonna go to afters, or like I'm gonna go like do whatever, you know. It has to be a two-way street too. And you can't expect everybody to just fit your schedule or your taste, but at the same time, you have to be willing to give up a little something too.
Yeah.
So, you know, I feel like birds of a feather kind of naturally, you know, matriculate towards each other, and, you know, people with similar goals.
Graduate? Matriculate?
Yeah. Like,
I don't know what that means.
It means like you end up gravitating towards each other.
Oh, okay.
Goose of a gander? What is it?
Birds of a feather.
No, matriculate is to apply to college.
It means that the wife is getting the wife makes the choice that's good for the husband. Birds of a feather flock together. In your bird, you're getting your aviary idioms jumbled.
What about killing two birds with one stone?
There's another one. Wow.
To answer your question, qualities I look for in homies from 20 to 30s is like reciprocity. But no, it's just like if somebody's willing to put in the same amount of effort as I'm willing to put in, or like, you know, yeah, or it's just like, I don't know, I feel like I said, everybody's got their shit going on. So I'm like, if you're able to make time, like I'm able to make time, or like if you're able to, I've had homies who I've never seen and then they might send me a card and I'm like, oh, this is dope. Or like, I don't know about y'all, but it's like I got homies who got like kids or like married or like even, and they send like a Christmas card, and you know what I'm saying? Like, that should be going in the trash. Like I don't know how long y'all keep them.
You don't keep it up on your fridge?
No.
I keep them?
I mean, I keep them until like after Christmas. And then I'd be
I
like,
don't keep all of them, I don't think, after Christmas. I'll keep some now because I'm like doing a little scrapbooking. But
no, like
you get them every year. It's like you don't need to save them.
Yeah, and
I think the people who send you Christmas cards don't expect you to save every single one every single year.
I've saved every card I've ever gotten.
So that's a prime example. Qualities like respect that I'm not going to keep a Christmas card.
I appreciate your card, but it's
I appreciate
trash.
Yeah, no. Like, I appreciate it, and I'm like, damn, you sent me a card, or like, I haven't talked to you in years, and you're like, hey, what's your address? And
it means
I'm
they're
like,
still considering it.
That's what I'm saying. Like, they're still in like but it's still like that kind of thing where I'm like, well, all right, well then like, meanwhile, there's somebody who's like, hey, can I borrow like $50? And then like, I never hear from them again, and I'm like, yo, go to hell. You know what I'm saying? So, I'm not go to hell, but it's like.
So I shouldn't ask you for $50.
No, you can ask me $50. No, I'm saying, all right, the determination of what you're asking from my 20s to 30s is, who would I invite to my wedding?
I have a list.
Yeah, and then Carrah asked me earlier, who would you invite to your bachelor party? And I was like,
Hillary asked if she could come to your bachelor party. And then we were like, who's going to be at your bachelor party?
No, you can't come to my bachelor party. But then, like, I already know the list of people who would have my bachelor party, and like.
Do you want to share it today on the pod?
I can.
Oh.
Give us a couple people. That should be everybody.
Brooks, my boy Howard, and Howard. And probably like my brother, one of my cousins, Harold. Just for what we said is Harold would make it his bachelor party. Harold would just be going
do whatever he wanted.
Oh, that's what y'all want to do. Well, I'm gonna go do this. Oh, Pat. My bad, P. You just text me. So yeah, I got it'd be like a good 15 people. And then there's room for you, Carrah, Hillary, shout out Madeline, Leo. Yeah. Y'all be in the casita.
And we'll clean the house for you guys.
I ain't say all that.
Sight.
Yeah.
Nah.
There will be a maid. What do you call a maid? Is it still a maid?
A man-made.
Is it a man-made?
Aren't they like butlers or something?
Butler.
No. Is it a butler and a maid?
Butler. Yeah.
Is it?
A butler waits on you. They don't really clean.
That's true.
Yeah, because like like a pilot is a man and a woman. But there's like actor, actress. Is there a maid?
Well, I think the maid is the
traditional.
A manservant. It's a manservant.
But
I just Googled it.
Manservant?
Because maid is short for maidservant. A valet, like the car driving valet. Valet is also a male servant who takes care of a gentleman's clothing and personal needs. So you're valet.
Because a valet is not just for cars; it's everything.
Oh.
But I don't know if a valet is in the maid realm, like a squire, you know, or like.
What is the squire definition, Katie?
Shout out young
Squire? That's a a knight.
A knight's like apprentice or slave.
Knight's attendant. So there are people who help them get dressed and saddle their horse and do all this stuff. Do you think it's a red flag if someone doesn't have many friends?
In general, like friends in general, or like dude friends?
Friends. I think friends in general.
Friends in general.
This is a long shot, and the only exception I will say is if you had like a military family where you were never in one place for long enough. But even then, I'd be like, you were in college, I hope. You know what I'm saying? But otherwise, if you were like, I was in a military family every 2 years, like, that's why I don't have no friends. I'd be like, hopefully you got family or like cousins or like somebody to like not necessarily vouch for you, but like everybody needs community as people. Mm-hmm. And it's like I feel like if you don't got no community or anybody where even if you have a hobby or an interest, you can at least be like, hey, I like shoes. Here's this collective of people who like sneakers on Reddit. I don't know them in real life, but at least I could converse with them. But like, yeah, to have no friends, I'd be like,
you said not many friends.
I said no friends.
It can be kind of whatever. Like, obviously, like we're leaning more towards like 0 to single digit. You know what I mean?
Like red flag
like, yeah.
in terms of
like if
someone you wouldn't want to be friends with.
Kind of, yeah. So like if you're like out looking for friends, or like if you know of people and you find out like, oh, like they don't have any other friends. Like, does it kind of like make you second guess yourself, like socializing with them, or like what is that process like?
Not necessarily second guess social. I think it could be not necessarily red flag, but maybe more indicative of their personality. Like maybe they're loners, maybe they're assholes. Like, you know, maybe they have friends for a reason.
I was gonna say maybe.
I was gonna say like maybe I hate to judge a book by a cover, but like at the same time, where there's smoke, there's fire. Do you not have friends because you're not social? You're more reclusive and reserved, or are you like genuinely like an unlikable person who people don't want to be around? Like,
yeah,
I can't say I've encountered too many of those people, but they're out there because like you have encountered them. So
the other night, well, yeah, if you ugly, I'm not about to be your friend. Yeah, that makes sense. Like if people don't want to be around you, but then also sometimes you get that whatever. But what I was gonna say is yeah, if you're ugly, and then number 2 is I recently
keeps repeating it.
Sorry, my friends are ugly. Number 2, I just met somebody who said they got a friend who's like a chaos bringer. Where like no, like he just likes to just stir the pot. Like they said, like if they went to a restaurant and the guy's like got the iPad and is like, you waiting, and he's like, oh, let me seat you. He'll like go on the iPad and like mix up stuff, or like he'll just like swap people's purse.
That's not a chaos bringer. That's a insane person.
So that's a criminal.
That's not.
So like that's somebody where if they was by themselves, I'd be like, okay.
That's unhinged.
Yeah, but if you had 0 friends, I'd be like, oh, this makes sense. Oh. Like, you know what I mean? Like you said, where there's smoke, there's fire. I'd be like, oh, you seem cool. Where your homies? And then if I saw them do shit like that, I'd be like, oh, like, let me get away from you, or like, you're problematic. Like, this is why. Yeah, but that's my 2 cents.
Okay, all right. And then over the years, y'all been friends for a very long time. How have you improved on being a friend?
I'm getting better with time.
That's a good thing.
My mentality is with time is like, if I'm already late to work, then I'm gonna go get breakfast.
If I'm already late, I'm gonna do what I want.
If I'm already late, I'm gonna be more late. Bro.
That's what, like, if I'm hungry.
There it is. There it is.
No, if I'm already late, like, if I'm like, oh, I'm supposed to be to work for 7, and then like, I'm like, damn, I'm not there, and it's 7:05, I'll be like, well, I'm hungry.
So do you think being late to work at 7:05, so you could get to work at like 7:15 if you were supposed to be at 7, but instead you say fuck it and you go to breakfast and you get there at 9:30 instead?
No, I don't do it that bad. I get there at like 7:30.
No, then he calls out sick.
There was one time where like I showed up to work late and I didn't have my laptop, so like, I had to go back.
But you should be like, oh, I forgot my computer.
That's what I did.
Versus turning around.
No, I showed up and was like, damn, I didn't realize I left my computer. And they were like, well, you got to go get it. And I was like, I'm not going to be back until 10.
There's a relevant story to that. At Clemson one time, I was like talking about like being a better friend and such. My friend and I used to go, like we played basketball a lot. And we had made plans after class, like we were going to do like basketball drills. And so, yeah, 2:00 or whatever, you know, be at the gym. I got all the way to Fike. Like I lived off campus, got all the way over there and like realized that I forgot my CU ID. I couldn't get into the gym. I was like, fuck. So I turned around, I went back home, got my ID, came back. It was like, by that point, I was almost an hour later and he was like pissed. I probably should have just like called him and be like, hey, like I'm here, but I forgot my thing. But instead, I just like went back and was really late.
You didn't tell
me? Yeah, no. But then I walked in there and was like, yeah, my bad.
So now
I've gotten better about
you're a better
that.
communicator.
Yeah.
That's great. I'm glad y'all have, you know, made moves.
Is that an improvement?
Yeah.
Okay.
So now we're gonna jump into getting into y'all's heads so women can understand dating from a men's perspective, okay? First question, do men have a type? And I want to give a little bit of context because from a woman's perspective, like I hear lots of girls like get insecure if they think that a guy has a particular type in their exes and they're not that. So they can like get in their head about it.
I never thought about it like that.
Mm-hmm.
Women say things like that.
So like I think that the type thing maybe applies more to like surface level physical features.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like, oh, like Arthur knows I might be attracted to this person because of this reason.
Yeah.
Like a preference.
But that's all like I feel like that's removed from like when you actually get down into the nitty gritty, it's like every single person is completely different from everybody else. So it's like you could have a type for in terms of like, oh, like this is a physical feature that I'm attracted to.
Yeah.
But in terms of like dating, it's just all about the person. So like there could be someone that is not at all what your type might be if they are just someone that you genuinely like spending time with and who respects you and has the things that you value in a partner.
I think like that makes sense, but like then are you aware of that and do you pursue people who are not your type, or like do they kind of have to be like put in front of you?
Like if you really like meet someone that you really like and they might not have that one or two like I feel like for most men like that doesn't matter. Men want a girl who's going to like respect them and be kind and protect their peace.
Yeah,
I'd say that's the ultimate goal.
You know,
is protect my peace.
Guys really don't care about like.
Actually, I lie.
Things that...
What'd you lie about?
Protecting the peace. I'm more prone to danger. Yeah. But then, to piggyback on what he said, I agree. But then, like for me, like my type also just depends, like what I'm after. Like, cause like I feel like for a partner, if I'm like trying to like find a wife or somebody I'm trying to date, the qualities that I'm looking for are completely different than like if I'm like, I'm just outside.
If you're trying to kiss.
Yeah, if I'm trying to make out, like here's the qualities I'm looking for. Like I'm more prone to be like, oh, you got a nice butt, cool. But then like if you got an attitude or like if you're just not cool, then I'm like, I'm not trying to deal with this. But like I like a woman who's got self-respect, is kind of like, you know, composed, like chill shit. And but that's not necessarily like, to answer your question, what I'm prone to go for.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? I think everybody wants something that's familiar.
Yeah.
Right? Mm-hmm. And like it seems warm at first, but that's not necessarily what I need. You know what I mean? So it's like what I need is what he's talking about, but like what I go for sometimes might be like the lower hanging fruit, even though that's not the flavor I want.
Yeah.
It's not necessarily my cup of tea, but it's my shot of tequila.
Why are we talking like this?
Oh my God.
I hear you, but you guys are saying like, yeah, you know, you have a type, but like you want like all these like qualities in women. I think, like, do you pursue women who are not your type? Like, because I think when you're younger, you might like not really, and I think girls are like that too. Like you kind of go after the same thing, and then you have to like push yourself out of your comfort zone, you know, to like maybe be open to other people. Do you feel like you do that? Or you have done that?
So it's like, for me at least, it happens unintentionally. Like I'm in a spot or a situation where I don't expect it, and then I'm like, damn, like, why are you here? I'll go to like a Clemson game where I'm just like, everybody likes sports, or I assume there might be just somebody with like who's like, go team, and I'm like, what are you doing here? Like, you don't like Clemson? And they're like, no, I went here, but like I don't care. And I'm just like, get out of here. And they'll be like, well, why would you like? And then I'm like, oh, like I get into this banter with a person. I'm like, damn, you're actually like really, really cool. It's like opposite attract type thing.
Yeah.
Where it's like, I wish I would seek the opposites attract kind of thing, but it's like, I'm never in a space where there's opposites. Mm-hmm. But then like when that does happen, I'm like, oh, it's kind of like uncanny, like the way it happens. You're like, oh, but it's like a push pull, but then when it doesn't, it's natural and you're like, it's cool.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, this is what I need versus like what I think I need.
Yeah. I think you guys answered that well. There is a stereotype that for men, like their first big heartbreak, like really fucks them up. More so than women. So is that true? And do men get hung up on their exes?
I would say the heartbreak thing, yes.
Why is that?
Child divorce, and I was raised by like a lot of strong women, right? Mm-hmm. And it's just like my mom's always like, oh, you need a woman who's got this, and this is how you got to treat them, right? And it's just like, I don't know. I feel like when you're younger and you're like in love with somebody, and then there's somebody who's like older, especially where like they got it together, and the girl was just like, oh no, I thought you had it together, but like this guy is actually the one. You're kind of like, well, as a dude, you're like, there's nothing I could do to be that right now. Like, I have to finish school. I have to get a job. Like, I have to do all of these things to try to win you back, or to like whatever, like the foresight sometimes I feel like as dudes, we don't have it. Like, you're like, oh, I got a great girl. I'm gonna treat her right. And that's all I need to do. But then like sometimes like, you know, different strokes for different folks, right? Where it's like, oh, I can't fly you out. I can't travel with you because I don't have the means, but just wait, right?
Yeah.
And then it's like, if somebody doesn't want to wait, then it's like, you'll work harder to try to like get back in the reins of where they are, but you're always going to be 3 steps behind. But it's like, so now when you're 3 steps behind and somebody else is like, whoa, now you're the guy, you're like, I already know what you're about to do. So like, this is where I'm trying to get, this is where you're at. Like, and it's like always a kind of push pull. But once you find somebody where it's like level, or somebody who doesn't care, then it's kind of like, it makes a huge difference. That's just my 2 cents.
It's really interesting.
Yeah. So yes and no. Like, yes, there's ways to get over your ex, but like sometimes you never forget because you're like, this is the thing I'm trying to climb to. And it's like, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, it just depends.
I think it's just like anybody, when you're young, you're emotional, you're not developed. You think your high school sweetheart is, you're going to be with them. You just don't know any better. And I don't necessarily think that it's like, I just think it's just as applicable in young teenage boys and men as it is as a teenage girl. Like teenage girls get all the flack for being like, you know, emotional or whatever. But like, you know, these dumb little like teenage boys are just like, I mean, I don't know. I can't speak on Gen Z or how kids are now, but like, I was very much a like, you know, silly schoolboy who like, I was very like naive, and you know, I think it's more applicable for men. It's just, I mean, I'm sorry, it's like equally applicable for teenagers, but it's just not, it just hadn't been as like, I guess, commonplace to put that out there. When teenage boys, men are doing stupid, ridiculous things, just like teenage girls are, because we're just dumb kids. And like when you're that age, you think you know better, or you think you have it all figured out. Like, no, you're stupid. But you know, it's you get hung up on some people. I think it's the first times that you've had someone make an impression on your life that's not immediate family. So, you know, you want to like hold on to that. It's like, oh, this was my, like, you know, you almost feel like a sense of duty. So like when you have that first heartbreak, it's like, oh, like, what did I do wrong? Or like, how did I not like, but
that's interesting.
It's just a natural, it's a natural stage in development and dating. And it's just something you have to figure it out. But, you know, it hits a lot. It's different when you're that age, because you've never been through it before, and you think it's just the end of the world, and then you look back and it's like, oh, I was being really silly and dramatic. I did a lot of really silly, dramatic things in high school and in college over relationship things, and it's like, oh, that was stupid. It's like, well, I was 17 years old. Of course it was stupid. Then 17-year-olds are stupid.
Yeah, but I also feel like it's like a different type of, I'm not trying to put words in your mouth, but for me, it's like a different type of failure. you know, I feel like we're all pretty smart, but it's like I got good grades in school, so I never failed. Like I never gotten fired from a job where I was doing a good job and they fired me. So it's like when you're young and you're in a relationship, and like you said, when it's like a duty thing or something you cherish, and then you fail, you're kind of like, this is like, yeah, because you're like, oh, I thought I did, like, I'm doing everything right else in my life. Why is like, it's all good. Why is this a thing? And it's like, yeah, you can't sleep on it for that long because like when you look back, you're like, oh, like I'm dumb, but like, or situations and things happen, or this wasn't the best for me. But like, I never thought about it from the essence of like failure and rejection of like, you know.
But it's interesting you say that about like, because I'm looking at the questions and what we were going to be talking about. I think it's just in male nature to be competitive.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of times, especially when you're younger, before you've really developed like deep critical thinking skills, that it's almost like we don't like to lose.
Yeah.
Like we're protectors, we're providers, and we don't like to lose. And so when a relationship, maybe it's your own fault, maybe it's not your own fault, but it almost feels like a failure. So I think a lot of people, especially men who maybe in the teenage 20s, something falls apart for a reason and you fight for it because it's your nature to like, I don't want to lose this. If this relationship fails, it means I've lost. Mm-hmm. And we're competitive, we like to lose. But there's a reason that's falling apart. And I think when you get older, you have more of a sense of like, well, there's reasons why this isn't working. And so I'm not going to force a square peg into a round hole just because this was my girlfriend and we dated for a year or two.
Yeah.
And if this doesn't work, it means we both did something wrong or I failed. Whereas it's more like things just naturally will run their course.
Yeah.
And this person had a purpose in your life, and their purpose might not be to be with you forever, but you learn something from it and you take those lessons to the next one. And I think you just have a more focused understanding of what you might be looking for, what worked last time, what didn't work last time. And I think as you get older, you have less of this, like, I got to make it work because this was my high school girlfriend, or like, oh, we moved in together. Like, we can't break up because like the last 2 years are wasted. And then you see people like fall into this trap of like a sunk cost fallacy where we've been with this person for this time. So we got to keep it doing. It's like, well, no, do you even know why you're with this person?
Yeah.
Are they enhancing your life? Are you bringing both complementing each other's lives, or are you both miserable with each other and you're holding on to it because you don't want to have that like the psychological, like, we don't want to lose this because of no one wants to almost admit defeat, I guess, kind of thing. I think the older you get, all that is to say, like, as you get a little bit older and more experienced, you learn that there's a reason that things don't work out, and there's a reason that certain people don't stay together. Sometimes it's for the better. A lot of times it's for the better. A lot of times usually
it's for the better. Yeah. For the sake of your own happiness, it's usually for the better. And that's dope shit, because I agree with you. And it's like, also as I get older, I realize like, man, like who you met at one period in your life is still that person, but they're also like, people are forever changing. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I don't like to be put in a box. And I feel like a lot of times when you meet somebody and you start dating them, you put them in that box and you're like, this is who you're supposed to be. This is who you are. We're in this relationship together. I fuck with your qualms. You fuck with mine. And then like, let's grow from this. But it's like, people are ever evolving, man. You know what I mean? And it's kind of like one of those things we got to develop with them too. Cause it's like so much shit changing us, right? Like we're affected by work. We're affected by technology, like life. And it's like, you know, for real though, like, you know what I'm saying? And it's like, a lot of times you're like, this is how I met you and this is how I want you to stay. And it's like, I don't know. I don't want nobody to hold back me as I'm changing. You know what I mean? And I don't want to hold back my partner as they're changing. But it's like, sometimes their change and your change might mean you splitting apart and it's for the better. But it's like you said, it sucks, but you're like, damn, like we've run this race and we've peaked and there's nothing else that's going to come from this, where the kids are involved. And like, sometimes you can leave amicably, like, and be like, hey, we're just two different people in two different spots. Like, you like blue, I like yellow. You know what I mean? We made green, but like, okay, you know, like, I'm gonna go over here and see what purple's doing. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, no, but that's what it is. But I feel like it's just the failure is the one part where you don't want to, like, where that's what stops you. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. As a child of divorce, I'm just like, sometimes failure is the option. I look at my parents and I'm like, y'all are so much happier now than you were together. Like, if you rode out this race, I wouldn't be the person I am now. So it's like, it's sounds like good things negatively, but like that's also why it's like it's good to expand and understand that.
Damn, that was pretty poignant, y'all.
That's how men think for real. That's what y'all wanted.
Yeah, no, like for real.
Yeah, y'all thought we was Neanderthals.
No, we didn't.
No, I think people have this misperception that men are just like one trick ponies sometimes when it comes to them. Like they all think the same because you hear that. So it's nice to like actually dive deep into it, which is why we're here. So
we all like
depends on where you hear it from, though.
Yeah, we all like butts.
We all like butts. Okay, same.
I guess today, like people don't really approach each other that much in bars. I think I've heard a lot about that. But I think also like I know women who want men to approach them and they might be too shy to approach men. So like first I want to talk about like what makes you want to approach a woman in public? Like in what circumstance would you like approach them and say hi and introduce yourself, whatever?
Nothing. I wouldn't.
You would never approach a woman?
Not necessarily never, but like I just think that's kind of where we're at right now. Not to like sound controversial, but like nobody wants to get Me Too'd, and nobody wants to have like a clip of them like put on someone's social media. Like we live in a world where everything is on camera.
Yeah.
And like everyone is hypersensitive to things. And so like we've been force fed this like no one wants to be a creep. And so like even just by going up to someone, it's in a situation where it could be like unwanted. It's not worth it. Like and I'm not I mean there are lots of people who are gonna like approach people at a bar or whatever, but for me personally, I've never been a like approach a person at a bar thing.
And have you always felt that way?
Always, because it's nerve wracking. Like like in college, hell no. Like I would send him to do it. You know, like, yo, go talk to her.
But it's not just because you're worried about like getting canceled or whatever.
No, it's
like,
because no one wants to be.
Talk about the other reasons.
Well, that's it. No one wants to be. I mean, fear of rejection is a real thing, and like that in itself is enough. Like that is something that we lived with growing up. Like
I mean, I feel like
as a teenager and you know your first experiences like getting rejected. Like we've all been there, and so that's formative. But then when that is compounded by living in a world where everyone's just on hyper alert, and also it's just kind of like I'm very much like not just with approaching people, but on a date, like I'm on record many times saying like I would never ever initiate a first kiss on like a first date. Like you don't know this person. They may have made up their mind within the first 60 seconds of knowing you that they want nothing to do with you, being polite. Yeah. They don't owe you anything like that. So that's just on the same scale of like, well, this person, they may be here at the bar with their friends. They might not want to be approached. And I don't know, I'm sure there are lots of men out there more maybe than not that aren't afraid to go out there. And
would you approach women in public? Okay, what makes you want to approach a woman? Because I personally, like, I've just had like friends in the past, like even when we were younger, like who go out and are like, they want to talk to guys, but like they look miserable. And I'm like, you need to look like you're a little nicer or like more outgoing or like friendly.
So I think this is one of the things that like men and women we need to talk about, right? Because it's like, no, really, because like even with the first kiss thing, I have like a lot of friends who are women where like, well, okay, so let me digress.
First answer.
Yeah, that's what I want to say. Yeah, do I approach
women?
women? Yes, but it's like not to the creep shit, but it's just like I'll approach women on some shit where it's like if they got something that I like genuinely like, then I'm like, oh, I'll talk to you. Like you got a Remy Wolf shirt, and I'll be like, oh, I like that Remy Wolf. Like you heard the new album, and then they'll be like, oh my god, yeah. Or if they like got on something I know, or
so
if
you're
it's
like if I just like something about you, that's what makes me
so if I'm gonna approach a dude the same way, then like my mentality is as I'm gonna approach a woman the same way. Like if girls got on Doc Martens and a Atlanta, jersey, I'm gonna be like, cool. you from Atlanta? What up? Like, and they're gonna be like, huh? And sometimes, and like, yeah, I've had the people where they're like, why are you talking to me? And I'm like, well, you have on all of this stuff. I'm from New Orleans. I'm from Charleston. What up? And then they're kind of like, oh, like, oh, and like, you know, even dudes do the same thing where they're kind of like disengage and they're like, oh, like, I don't know what your intentions are, but like, I'm coming at you regular. And then it's like, yeah. And then like maybe from there I can strike a conversation. But like, as far as like attractiveness, like, I get starstruck sometimes. Like, if you bad, I can't, I'll be like, ooh, like, even if you start talking to me like you like me and I'm like, and you bad, I might be like, all mumbles, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, I don't know. But to answer your other question, I think we need to talk about it because it's like even going on a first date, right? I've heard some girls be like, I would have kissed him, but he never went for it. And but it's like to me that's where I get mixed up because I'm like, I don't ever want to be too forceful.
Yeah.
Right? Because it's like if I'm like, then it's like, oh, you crossed the line, right? But then if I ask, then that's even worse than like just going for it. And then I've also heard from some girls where they're like, I didn't want to kiss the guy, but he went for it, and I just felt like I had to do it. And it's like that's the worst thing. That's the worst thing for me because I'm like, I don't. You were talking about attractive qualities. I'm not attracted to that. Like I'd rather me go for it, and you be like, whoa, maybe date two, or like, whoa, I'm not into you like that. Like, but to just be like, okay, and then just like what, like, you know, and now when I'm hitting you up for date two, you're gonna be like ghost or like, you know what I mean?
There is both of your responses like make total sense why men didn't want to approach women, and I like your approach is like you're putting a lot less pressure on it. You're not making it all about like making sure this is like a romantic thing in the end. You're like, I approach women the same way I approach like anyone who I'm going to talk to anywhere.
I mean, that's
and I think it's a good way to go about it because it's putting way less pressure on it. But I understand also why you wouldn't want to approach women because there is like a lot of judgment. And I think like we're in this weird time of like, there's like traditional stereotypes for women. Some women, I don't want to say all women, but some women will expect men to approach them, like ask them on a date, set up the date, go in for the kiss, like make sure that they're texting them immediately and saying that they like them, and like it's difficult.
Well, I'll even piggyback on that. So it's like I've in I'm not going to say the specific culture, but like I've been in situations where even sometimes girls are like, yeah, like nobody wants to come and approach you nowadays, and then I'll hit them with the reverse Uno and be like, all right, well, if a dude did come up and approach you, what would you say? Like, you know what I mean? Like if a dude was like, hey, I think you're really cute, can I buy you a drink? What would you say? And usually they're like, oh, I don't know. I'd probably not talk to him because that's weird. And I'm like, okay.
Like, we don't hear about, like, we hear about girls getting the ick.
Right.
Oh, he was too nice. Like,
he was too this, he was too that. But I'm like, so, but I'm like, yeah, or like, you know, it's like a little pinpoint where, but I'm like, I'm also like, so you're mad because nobody's approaching you. But then when somebody does approach you, what is the expectation? Or like, what now are you going to give back? Because at the same time,
it's a bit of like, you're damned if
you're damned if you don't.
And I do think that some women like expect like perfection. Like they expect like the perfect process to happen, and they expect the guys to do everything. And I have always been the person who approaches people, and I've always been the person that's my advice to everybody. I'm like, especially women, I'm like, if you see someone that you think looks cute or like you like their vibe or whatever, go up to them.
Dude, guys will engage with you.
Yeah. So I think that's
you hold all the cards. Like
literally, that is
women has the power. Like any single woman on this planet, like whatever their goal was with dating, like if they wanted to just go home with someone or they wanted to find someone to date, they hold the cards.
Yeah.
They can do it.
There's not a woman in the world that could not go in someplace and like. Yeah, we're in this world now where men are conscientious of, and maybe not all of them, but it's like, you know, you want to mind your business and you want to be respectful. And it's like, it's almost like I'd rather just keep my distance and not even bother than like bother someone who's not. It's one thing when you're on a date with someone, like we're going on a date together. I'm talking about like cold call, like approaching strangers in public, which is like, you know, to Arthur's point, like The clothing thing is the best.
I be doing
I like
it.
your shirt.
I be doing it. I don't know. I'm just observing. I be like,
Arthur's
your
very
clothes,
observant.
your clothing. Oh, you got them nails done. Like, oh,
Like
blah,
women
blah,
just
blah, blah,
go
blah.
like.
So that's
go for it.
a great
little
segue.
interest.
How would you like to be approached by women? Like, is there like a particular like line, or like do you just want them to introduce themselves? Do you want them to bring something creative?
What is the intention? Like, are they trying to be my friend? Or are they trying to fuck? Or like, what's going on?
We're talking romantically. We're not talking.
Oh, like they're actually into me.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't think it makes much of a difference.
That's good. That's
be upfront.
No. I'm saying like, yeah.
What's your name? You're cool. I like your shirt. Like I like your. Oh, are you from here? Like my name's.
Even like the shit. Like this is in real talk. It's like whatever qualities you're looking for in an actual husband, right? Or like partner or relationship. If you came up to me and were like, yo, everybody here, especially like, let's say take a place like Charleston, right? Everybody in here either got on a backwards cap or a collared shirt, and you're the only person with
salmon shorts.
Yeah, salmon shorts. Yeah, like you're the only person with a terry cloth, like dope ass shirt on. Like you got a different vibe about you. If a girl told me that, I'd be like, whoa, like thanks. You know what I'm saying? Like you ever seen that thing where it's like
men aren't complimented very much.
Mm-hmm.
So like it.
You know, like you ever seen the thing where it's like women giving dude flowers?
Yeah.
And then like dudes are just kind of like.
Yeah,
like,
I've heard multiple times about people's boyfriends who like have cried because like their girlfriends like did something really special for them, and they're like, no one's ever done that for me ever.
Yeah, no, but it's true.
Yeah,
and I don't think it gets talked about enough, but I definitely think it's true.
Well, I think that, and again, I may be like speaking out of bounds, but like I think women like the gestures and like the thought. You planned a date, you went out of your way to do something. You plan something nice. Like men are so simple. Like they don't need that. Like a man wants to just be thanked.
Yeah.
Thank you for whatever. Thank you for the effort you put. Like that's, if anyone could tell me something that would make me happy, like just thank me. Like thank you for taking the time to do that, or thank you for. It's very simple, because I think that there's a lot that goes on behind the scenes, internally and externally, with men that is just kind of like taken for granted. And it's like it's not out there because we don't like
vocalize it. We don't vocalize it.
But like, there's nothing there's no better like thing anyone could say than like thank you.
But you're like it means a lot for a woman to show appreciation for their guy.
I agree. And then I also think it's cool to like, I think when you have a partner and you can get into their interests too, like I think for me, it goes back to that reciprocity type shit where it's like, I like getting pedicures. You know what I'm saying? So if my girl was like, oh yeah, let's get a pedicure together, I'd be like, yeah. Like that's something we could both enjoy, right? Yeah. Where it's like a thank you, but it's like a both thank you. Like if she's like, oh, I want to go shopping, I like to shop. And if she's like, oh, you want to go to the Clemson game? Like, I don't care about sports, but I'm here for you. I feel like that the gratitude is kind of like, it's thanks. Like, I get a thank you is great, and I love it. But it's like, I also like the gratitude option of like.
And doing it and enjoying it.
Not fake.
You like this band, I'm going to go to this concert.
Yeah.
Your favorite band.
And like on your phone the whole time.
Yeah, I think it's hot if like you got your own personality and you're into what I'm into. And like genuinely enjoying it, like, oh, I never would have heard this music if it wasn't for you. And now I'm here at this concert and I like it. It's like, that's sick. You know what I mean? I think that's the biggest form of gratitude ever.
Yeah, I think that's love.
Yeah,
I think so.
It is.
When do men feel ready to commit? And I'll provide a little bit of context. Like my understanding, which I understand why some men might feel this way, is that like, guys want to have like their shit together because they want to feel like they can properly provide for you. And so like until they like, feel like they're like in a good place in their career or like financially or whatever, like have stability, like it's really difficult for them to want to focus on like really committing to a woman because they don't want, like they're probably like constantly worried about like not being able to be enough. So like, I guess, is that true?
Very accurate.
No, I'd say it's spot on.
That is very
spot on. That's how I feel about a lot of stuff.
Yeah, I guess share just more from your perspective. Like, why is it that men feel that way?
Okay.
I think it's instinctual.
Yeah.
Like it used to be a lot easier to, you have in the nuclear family days, you lived in the community, you got a job, you had a salary, you had a wife, you had a family. It was a lot easier. Like, I feel like in today's world, not only is everything like more expensive and housing, but it's just, there's more things that are involved in like being independent and being established. And I think most men have that paternal instinct to have a family and provide for, we're hunter gatherers in our instinct. I've personally felt like to a T exactly what you described, where it's like, I might have had the opportunity to date this great person, but it's like, hey, I'm still like kind of in between, and I have to focus on this before I can, because you want to have a strong foundation down there before you can really start to take the steps towards building a relationship and building a family. And I feel like it's kind of hard to do them both.
Yeah.
Like you can date, but there have been a lot of times where I've had certain aspects of uncertainty on the professional side, career side, where it was like, well, I can't go too far down this road in the relationship because I don't have the stability here that might throw everything out of whack. Like, I want to have something solid. You take one Jenga piece out of the bottom and it all becomes unstable. I think a lot of people, especially when you're younger, like, you go down that road. Oh, we were high school sweetheart. Oh, we were college dating. Oh, well, we graduated. We moved in together. Oh, we got a dog. Oh, now we're going to get married. Oh, now we're going to have a kid. But you've gone through the steps, but haven't really like had that career stability to be able to like, But so anyways, but I that really resonates, because I've felt that before, to where I have not been able to fully dedicate myself to a relationship because I didn't have that stability on the career side, where it's like, I'm not going to get into the path to marriage if I'm not even going to be able to support this. Or, like, you get one shot at it in my mind. Like, so I want to make it count.
I agree with it totally too. For me, it's just like, with the committing thing, sometimes if I'm not ready, like mentally, physically, financially, emotionally, then I'm kind of like checked out, you know what I'm saying? And it's like, it's a gripe you have to deal with, I guess, as a man, like on your own. But the way I look at it is just like, if I'm looking for a partner and I want to get married with them and have kids, right? I'm like, okay, like, let's say even my partner make more money than me, right? It's like, if she wants to have kids and we're not doing a surrogate or something, all right, then that means she's about to be out of work. So I need money for that. Oh, okay, let's say it was perfect, but now we get a divorce. Oh, okay, I need to have money for child support. Let's even get before the kids, right? But it's like, let's say if she bougie, she expects a certain kind of ring from me. You see what I'm saying? And it's like, I need to have money for that. I can give you a promise ring. But I got like a small window as that closes where it's like, oh shit. Or like, if I have a woman who's older than me, maybe there's medical shit we gotta take care of. And like, even my mentality too is just like, if I'm with a partner and I love them for real, right? I want to make sure that even like, if I'm gone, they're still good, right? Like, that's my mentality. Like, if as a provider or hunter gatherer, I want to at least have enough of a nest egg to where if my wife didn't want to work, she don't have to work, right? And I can provide. But then if something happens to me, I still want her to be good. Like, my biggest fear is that if something happened to me, my wife now has to go find somebody else to get back to like living okay. And I understand whatever, but like, I'd rather her be taken care of whether I'm there or not, and then it's like all good. Or I'd even want a partner who loved me for me enough to where they're like, hey, even if you did lose your job, we still good because we got this nest egg and I'm gonna stay with you. Because like, there's some people where they're like, you're not working, I'm gone. And it's like, that's crazy to me too. And it's kind of like, that's where my mind immediately goes, where it's like, if I'm not bringing in, not necessarily income, but like, if I'm not providing with whatever way that can be, right? Then I'm like, it's almost like the failure thing we were talking about earlier, where I'm like, damn, I'm not doing what I'm supposed to be doing.
Mm-hmm.
Like I got one job, and it's like you can't do that. Like how many times have you heard people say that? Like you had one thing and you didn't do this, and it's like shit. Like that's my job. So like I think it's almost like a people who think like that. I think it's almost better. But then as a dude, sometimes I'll be like, there's motherfuckers out here making it. Like I'm like, this motherfucker got 4 kids and is at Burger King. How? Like you know what I mean? And it's like shout out to those people. But then that's sometimes when I'm like, am I like, you know what I mean? Like, am I thinking too deep into it? But it's like,
that's a good point. Like, are you concerned that you're so focused on that financial stability that you're passing other things by or not focusing on other parts?
I want to offer like a little, just as the one who's married in this room. I hear all of this. I do think that like when you guys find the person that you want to be with, you're not going to feel like everything has to be perfect.
Right. No,
you do need to get to a
right.
certain level, right? But I think like on the other hand, like women for some reason just assume that some women assume that like a long-term relationship equals we're going to get married one day. And so like lots of women like enter a relationship, and as the years go by, they're like, oh yeah, like we're going to get married because we're like are staying together. And then like they might not be talking about it, I would assume, or like they might like be talking about it in a very vague way. But like I feel like if, and you can confirm this, like if you really wanted to, you would be like saying this is what we're going to do and this is how it's going to happen
up front.
Yeah. Or like just
Well, I think
you're not pretending you're going to get married. You're not like, hey.
I think that's the difference between like maybe a little bit older relationship and like more of like the college style. Well, we like each other, we're attracted to each other, we sleep over at each other, but like I think when you're really like dating with intent, like that conversation comes up early. Like you're talking about goals and plans, and like I'm 35, and you know the last couple of people I've dated, that comes up very early because we're not getting any younger, and it's like not saying on a first date like, okay, this is done, but it's like do you want children? Do you see getting married? If we get married, like what does that mean? Like it's okay if I'm not working? Am I raising the kids? Like you have these if you're in your mind dating with intent, these are things that are not uncomfortable to talk about with your partner, because that's the natural. You talk about that, and you need to talk about those kind of things. It's important, because unless you're not in that, if you're in a casual thing where you're just like, what are we?
But I will say it's just like the reverse to what you're saying is like sometimes people will use that as the latch. Does that make sense?
Use what as the latch?
Like sometimes I think it's almost like love bombing, right? Where sometimes people are like, hey, like, do you want this? Yeah, I want this. Yeah, do you want this?
Well, there's sometimes
you know what I'm saying?
It's like, hey, it's like we went on one date. You don't need to be like screening me.
No, what I'm saying is like to your point is it's like sometimes I feel like the reverse can happen, where it's like sometimes people stay in it because they're like, oh, he agrees with everything I want, and like he does want the same things I want, and it's like, is he working to be better? Oh no, babe, wait until my mixtape gets big. Like really though. And there's some people where like they're like, oh hey, like I support you, I love you, we on the same page. I'm waiting until your mixtape gets big, and it's like
people can lean on like
they'll lean on the thought of those values rather than like actually like versus actually getting them. They'll be like, well, one day, like just y'all wait. Hey, can I? And it's like, now mind you, if that dude's mixtape does happen to get big, he probably won't commit to that person. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like there is situations where like
his mixtape to get big so
he can leave her and go get something better. No, but that's how it is. Like a lot of times, like with like I think it's like not necessarily a fear of. I hear this from like a lot of women, and correct me if I'm wrong, but sometimes I feel like sometimes dude need like mommy girlfriends to where like they build a man, and then like once that man's built, he's like bye. You know what I mean? But like all the reasons that they're building this man, because like they're like, hey, this is what I want in a partner. He said this is what he wants. That's why I'm all in. And it's like, that's why I work hard, because I don't want to be that. Like I don't want you to have to build me. Like I don't want the false pretenses or the reason we're in this relationship is because you put this much effort into me because of who you think I am versus what I actually am. For the watchers watching, I'm single, yes. I'm not complete just yet, but when I am, you can stand on these shoulders.
Is there anything that you guys wanted to talk about, or any you can get on a soapbox for a minute?
Hey, check this out, ladies. Listen, I think you can understand that just because something is familiar doesn't mean it's the best thing for you.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? I think one of the main differences between men and women, we're both emotional creatures, we're both logical creatures, but sometimes I think men think too logically. I'm not saying women don't, but I just think men think about it too logically, where if it's if I stuck my hand in the oven, I'm like, oh, the oven's always going to burn. Where a woman might be like, well, it's an electric oven, it's a gas oven, it's a different type of thing. You know what I mean? And it's I think that's something that we both need to understand. And I say this because it's sometimes familiarity isn't necessarily the best thing. I think the best relationship that I get into is when I am unfamiliar with people and different kind of experiences and able to learn. But I see more women gravitating towards familiarity rather than a different experience. And I say that with the meaning if a woman was in a relationship where she was getting kicked and now she's in a relationship where she's just getting smacked in the face, she's like, well, that's better than getting kicked. And it's sometimes the best relationship is not getting hit at all, And it's I don't like that mentality of it's better the devil you know than the one you don't. I'm like, what if I don't want to know the devil? You see what I'm saying?
You don't have to know the devil.
Yeah, you don't have to know the devil, but it's I think it's guys go in that mentality, but I feel like it's easier for sometimes girls too. And for me as a dude, I don't understand that sometimes. And it's I give everybody grace, but I'm just why gravitate towards the devil or why continue the same behavior when you already know what happens and it's familiar? Just because it's familiar doesn't mean, because sometimes I feel I could provide the best kind of love and everything that you want, but if that's not familiar to you, then it's at my disadvantage, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's that's not me doing anything wrong. And I think that's what the mentality of a lot of guys where the commitment thing comes in, right? Because it's oh, if you're beautiful, you're smart, you got a good job, but you're used to somebody figuratively who's puts you down,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm the type to build you up. There's nothing I can do as much as I build you up. If you know that's what you want, great. But there's nothing I could do to keep you if you're used to getting put down. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And it puts me at a disadvantage, and it's
I think the answer to that is being self-aware enough to know patterns that you kind of move in and being able to recognize those patterns and do something different.
So that's point one. Point two is chill out with the social media. Just because what you see is what you see, that don't necessarily mean it's what's real. And a lot of people just want the glitz and the glamour, and it's not necessarily translatable. So just because you see it on social media, don't mean that's what you actually are. And just because you see people on social media, that don't mean who they actually are either. So relax with all that shit.
I guess I feel like we're in a very polarizing time where it's you're on this side of the coin or on the other side of the coin.
Mm-hmm.
I think that gender wars are incredibly lame.
Mm-hmm.
I think there's a lot of wasted energy over pointing out what we don't like about the opposite sex or men. It's real easy to women out there will crap on men and men will be oh, dumb girls, blah, blah, blah. But I think we're approaching a point where it's toxic and dangerous. I think a lot of times we'll get so hung up on and trying to one up each other. It's women can do all this and oh, well, men can't do this better. It's no, we're different for a reason. Let's embrace and celebrate our differences, and we need each other in this world. And the more we go pitting ourselves against each other, the more we all lose.
Mm-hmm.
And men have a lot of dumb, stupid things about we are guilty of a lot of things. We need each other in this world, and I think that we just need to be a little more open-minded, and that we're different for a reason. We develop differently. We express ourselves differently.
Yeah.
You know,
we're a product of the society that we grew up in.
Let's all get along and be on the same team. You know, I never heard any man say, I want to live in a world with no women. Like, that'd be boring. That would suck, you know? Like,
Arthur said that once.
I never said
you know, yeah, let's
women's.
all,
I love
you know,
women's.
we wouldn't be here right now without both of us together. So
shout out moms.
You know, yeah, shout out all moms.
Yeah, shout out my mom, my grandma. All I'm strong with my aunties, my aunties.
She got the grapefruits.
Hey, dude, if y'all need them, it's the season, dog.
Okay, well, I feel like that's probably a good place to stop because it's very long.
Mm-hmm. All right. Thank you guys so much for coming. This was so fun. I think we learned a lot about Brooks and Arthur specifically and men in general. Thank you so much. We hope you had a fun time hanging out on the pod.
We had a good time. We speak on the behalf of all men.
The ambassadors.
Honestly, I'll take it. If y'all speak on behalf of all men, then fuck yeah. Perfect.
Oh, that's nice, dude. Thank you.
You're welcome. Well, we love you and I miss ya, and we'll definitely talk soon. Thanks for coming.
Thank you for having us.
Thanks everyone for tuning in today as we talked with Brooks and Arthur about male friendship. We asked them some dating questions and then we let them
shoot the shit.
Also give a speech at the end and get on their soapbox. So thanks for tuning in. We hope you learned something. We really love this episode. It's probably going to be fairly long. So we hope you stayed to listen to the whole thing. Make sure that you follow us on Instagram and TikTok at Life in the Party and subscribe to our YouTube channel at Life in the Party Pod.
Thank you guys so much. Illy.
Bye.